Welcome to the Team Prep Stars podcast. I'm Big Rob with my partner Ameen Alai. We've got Big Lenny from the Big Lenny Show. We've got Dr. Tony Huge with us. How are you guys doing?
Good.
Doing good.
Ready. Good to be back.
Yeah.
Right on.
Ready to learn something.
That beard's got a good amount of gray in it, like mine too, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed. Yeah, Tony, you have more than me.
I went gray at an early age.
Yeah.
Well, Lenny and I were actually having a competition, but I don't know. I had to get mine trimmed up. I was actually thinking about joining a colony, like an Amish colony here. You know.
He had the big beard.
The direction we're going in, but my girlfriend made me shave it off here, so.
So, guys, I have an interesting topic I want to talk about, given this, it seems to be about time. And I don't want this video to get taken down. So without being stupid, we all know what we're talking about. We're not going to call it by its name. We're going to call it the Mona virus. Okay? We're not talking about whatever that other thing is. We're talking about something totally different. Okay? So, and Tony had a variant of this Mona virus. And Tony, you were exposed to the original Mona virus, correct?
Yeah, we might need to pick another name because I knew this girl named Mona who was the biggest squirter I've ever known. And they keep not get it out.
That's perfectly fine.
I was going to say, I think I've actually banged a girl named Mona.
Well,
yeah.
We're going to talk about. We're going to talk about Mona and Mona at the same time, because that's one of the things we're going to talk about is how contagious is Mona and how can you get Mona.
I had Delta.
Yeah, and so but initially the original version that went out, you didn't get it. You had a girlfriend that had it and you kissed her and you didn't get it, right?
Right. Yeah. Well, I probably had it, but I was probably asymptomatic, right? Had immunity to it because I was even trying to catch it.
I remember that.
Trying. So I had to.
And then what happened? What happened with this last one? What do you think happened? Why do you got hit so hard?
I don't know about how many variants there are. Everybody's saying how there's so many variants. How can you know which one you had? The tests don't test for which variant it is. I went by Delta because I had some of the unique symptoms of Delta when I looked it up on the internet. And at the time, there was a wave of what they called the Delta strain going through Thailand, where I was. And then a lot of the people around me got it at the same time. So that's why I say we'll call it the Delta variant.
Strangely enough, it didn't seem like the immunity you had from the first one made a difference with the second time around.
No, right.
You would think that it would.
I think it's sort of like the flu, where every year you could catch the flu every year because it does mutate. There's so many different strains of it, so
right.
I think it's a similar thing.
What about you, Lenny? Have you had any experience with the Mona virus?
No, and I've never said the real word anyway, so you don't have to worry about me saying it now. I just remove it from my thought process as much as possible. And I like how Tony says he's trying to catch it. I guess I am too, but it's not working. I can't catch it.
Right. Interesting. I had a test the other day. I had a scan in the hospital. They checked me for it, and I had 0 traces of it. So I haven't been exposed to it yet.
I did have a test. I had a home test, and I had a test in the hospital. So in the hospital, I tested after I fully recovered, and it was negative. I tested at home while I had it, and it was positive. And then I tested at home after I recovered.
It was negative?
Yeah, so I think the test, in my case, I think it was accurate. It was the test that I did when I was positive, and the test when I had recovered was negative.
So that you would, in order for you to do a test afterward to show it, you would have to test for antibodies, correct?
No, they still do the regular PCR. The antibodies test would see if I had it before, not
right. That's what I'm saying. So in order for you to
do the antibodies test, and I still have the antibodies as of my last test for antibodies.
Now, seeing that you have the antibodies, the big question everybody's really saying is that, I have the antibodies, so I don't need the shot. And The question is because you have the antibodies, Israel did a study saying, I believe it was 18 times more than natural immunity is than with the shot. Do you think that it's wrong for them to say that you have to have a shot in order to get in certain places if you've already had it, if you've already been exposed to the virus itself?
Sure, I think it's wrong.
Yeah.
I think it's wrong anyways, just to start, telling people that they're not allowed, to go certain places. When you say certain places, are you referring to like here, like where I live, I'm not allowed to go to the gym unless.
Well, let's talk about that. Tell everybody what it's like in Canada right now.
So what it's like, guys, here is we're not, unless you have, the double Mona or whatever you want to call it there. Unless you have it, you can't go to the gym, you can't go to restaurants, you can't go to sporting events, concerts, virtually any sort of indoor activity or entertainment whatsoever. So, but here's the thing, kind of like what you were saying, Tony, like, so I've already had it, right? And, I was sick. Now, I wasn't really that sick. It lasted for about a week or so, and it came in waves. But it really wasn't that bad. And I understand that this, Mona kind of hits everyone differently. Like you could get, you could be asymptomatic, you could be, you could be in the hospital and, have trouble breathing and, feel really sick. But I think just generally speaking, I don't think that you can really, I think, controlling people, telling them what they can do, where they can go and whatever. I mean, that's just not how society works in a free country. I don't think they're going about it properly.
It's pretty clear we're not in a free country.
No.
Yeah, whoever said Canada was free?
Yeah.
It was, right? It was. It used to be.
I mean, it was under the notion that it was. Now I think that all those notions are gone. I think we know the truth now. Whenever they can sit there and they can just automatically say we're going to shut everybody down, or you can't go to a restaurant without something, you realize how little control you actually had. And I think everybody moving forward understands that there's no control here. In California right now, if you're 12 years old or you're above 12 years old, if you don't have this, you can't go to school. So they're taking kids out of school for not taking the shot.
Yeah.
They're not talking about this on the news because they don't want you to know what's going on in other parts of the country. But this is happening right now in our country. And I think what I've been hearing from people that are in Australia is Australia seems to be the testing ground right now for the rest of the world. And it's the English speaking countries, guys, that are going to be the ones that crank down the hardest, because if we do it, then everyone else in the world will. America leads the world, right? So right now they're trying to see what happens in the UK. They tried to see what happens in the UK with all those lockdowns. Remember, it was a study to see how far they were going to get before they started demonstrating and rioting. Now they're doing it in Australia, and you can't leave the country, you can't enter the country, you can't be on the beach. The military is getting people off. They're using every single possible way that they can to control the people. They're using real ammunition. The police are using real ammunition, and little bits and pieces are coming out on the internet about what's really happening. And they're saying that, Canada, no offense, Rob, but they're saying that Canada is pretty much a pushover country, that the people will pretty much do what the government says. And I think they had that from the very beginning, because everyone conformed, everyone wore the mask, everyone did. Canadians did as they were supposed to. And it seemed like everything was better for a while. And then all of a sudden, bam, they got hit hard out of nowhere. Well, the same thing's about to happen to the U.S., guys. We're about to get hit hard. It's about to come out of nowhere, and they're going to start justifying all kinds of, draconian measures from lockdowns again to potential, IDs.
So at what point does Big Lenny say that I've had enough of America? I'm a lover of freedom, and I'm going to find another country that has more freedom.
Well, I'm not going down without a fight, and just saying that's going to put me on a list. But I have a lot of close friends and family members who are against the vaccine. They're getting it now, and everybody's just lined up, and I just can't understand it. And once they start closing the gyms again, I'm not going to put up with it. You have to fight for something in some way. What's the sense of living? If you're not
Lenny, make sure we can see your face, buddy. Your face is a little bit cut off at the top. There you go.
Okay.
There you go.
If you put up a fight, which I recommend being cautious about, but make sure you get it on camera at least.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean,